Hi, guys. Happy Friday. Welcome to Design Exchange. I'm your host, Danny Russo. Melinda is out today, but we are joined by the amazing Whitney Atkinson from
Hi.
her company is called WUGS. So, Whitney, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
We got to meet in November of this year, of last year. Can't forget it
Yes.
was me already. And it was so funny the way we met. I think we were sitting in the conference, and it was actually one of the first conferences that I was actually sitting there paying attention to. And I looked at my phone, and somebody had tagged me in a post, and I'm like, somebody in this room knows me. I'm like, who is it? And then I thought your website said, or your Instagram handle said drugs, but it said
Yep.
weighted drugs. And
I
I'm
get
like,
that a lot.
yeah, and then you could come up to me and we ended up talking. And I am very proud of you and impressed with this concept that you came up with. And I'm surprised that I don't know that I've seen anything like it. And I've been doing this for a very long time. So,
Right.
how'd you get started? You're an interior designer and you've done
Right.
project management. And I think what you told me is we, because we're all like over the client acquisition and dealing with contractors and everything. And I think you felt the same way, and that's why you started WUGS, right?
Exactly. I mean, WUGS, it was a solution to a problem I had. I was tired of my rug edges curling up, my clients' rugs blowing away. We're down here on the Gulf Coast and we get a good breeze off the coast and our rugs are blown everywhere. So it
Yeah,
was really just a simple solution.
we have that issue up here in Ohio, and um, my patio rugs are from a company that we both use.
Mhm.
So I have furniture on top of them. They don't blow around that often, but I've seen it happen in other places. You also have
Yeah.
weighted pillows, and I have had my pillows blow away. So I'm really interested
Right.
in you call them willows.
Willows,
So
uh-huh.
it's funny because I actually thought the W stood for Whitney, but it also stands for weighted. So that's kind of cool that you have like a triple meaning there, or a double entendre. Is that what it's called? I'm bad
Exactly.
with
It's
that.
very marketing 101,
Yeah.
right?
So
Exactly.
I just saw you posted one the other night that's available on your website called the Sunset Rug.
Uh-huh.
And it's actually a
Yes.
really beautiful rug. I'm like, I would use that somewhere. Um,
Yes.
how did you come up with this idea? You said you said you got it from being in Corpus Christi and having the wind breeze. I've been to Texas so many times, and I know how it can get windy
Mhm.
and 120 degrees, and you never know. Sometimes it could
Exactly.
snow. You never know what you're going to get in Texas. But
Exactly.
how did you come up with the technical process? Like, I know you solved the problem that we all have, and I'm going to ask you more about that in a second. But how did you
Mhm.
come up with actually finding the weights and getting them stitched into the rugs? Like, are you?
So I so I literally was watching my son and my kids play in the pool, and I'm sitting here with a rug folded over trying to uncurl it. And I'm one of those, if I get an idea in my head, like I have to see it through.
Yeah,
So I went down to the steel mill and I found some flat panel and what we call our first
like an actual
prototype.
steel mill, not like a building
Like,
called the steel mill.
yeah,
But
no,
you went to a
actual
mill.
steel mill. I
Oh,
actually went to a steel mill and
that's
I thought, you know what? We need something to weigh them down. I've tried adhesives. The adhesives, as soon as they get wet, they stick to my tile, my travertine, and they make a big mess. It just,
yes,
nothing was working. And I didn't want to decorate my outdoor spaces around a rug and have to put furniture on the edges. I wanted to
yeah,
free float them so my kids, whenever they got out of the pool, they didn't burn their feet on my travertine or they didn't slip and fall, right?
yeah.
So
That's
I wasn't looking to create a product at all. It
really.
just
You
kind of
did it for
happened.
yourself, and it kind of. Well, you are
It did.
solving a problem because what I can tell you that I've had clients and I've done custom runners for, and I've had them made from broadloom carpet, and then
Mhm.
the client was like, "Danny, this rug keeps moving, and I can't get it to stay put." And I go, well, we have a couple different solutions for that. And we would use Velcro. And
Mhm.
sometimes we would have it stitched. If it was a cowhide rug, we'd have the Velcro stitched in and then put the
Mhm.
Velcro on the floor. And then, like you just said, it would leave a residue. Um, we've
Yeah.
tried the 3M tape. And what else? I have never done this, but one of my designer friends recommended hot gluing a rug to a floor. I've not tried
Oh,
that yet. But I mean, if the thought of it sounds like it wouldn't take the finish off because the glue would come off. But
Right.
I mean, I
Right.
don't know. What's your opinion on that? I've never tried the hot glue method.
No, but I think if your flooring, it depends on what you're working with. If you're working with a laminate or a vinyl, I mean, depending on how thick the top layer is,
Oh yeah,
it could pull it off actually. I mean, if
I've only suggested it on hardwood floors. I don't think I would do it on a vinyl.
right, no,
Yeah,
exactly. And we use a lot of vinyl down here. So,
we've
in
been
Corpus.
vinyl's been really big. We're using a ton of
Mhm.
it everywhere.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so you went from wugs and with rugs, and then you moved
Right.
into pillows, which I think is
Uh-huh.
great. Are you making the pillows yourself? Like, are you getting them from other sources? Can somebody send you pillows? Like, how is that working for your
Right.
business?
So we make them 100% handmade. So
Oh,
my whole
nice.
operation is out of our home. We have 10 acres down here in Corpus. So all of the metal is fabricated here on site. My mother is a seamstress. And I never thought I'd be sewing ever. But you do what you're passionate about, right? You learn
Exactly.
anything that you can. And
Yeah,
so I spend most of my days sewing. If I'm not traveling or going to markets, I'm sewing. And my poor
you
kids, I have that mom guilt because I'm like, I'm sewing right now all the time. But
so it's funny the way I got into interior design, which I didn't even know about it, is I we were back. This was back. Well, let's say I'm only 22, so this was back in the God early 90s. I want to say
mhm,
I instead of taking shop class, which was wood class and metal class
yeah,
and mechanical drafting, I ended up taking home ec. But I didn't take the whole home ec part. I took the sewing part and the cooking
yes,
part. Can tell you I'm not good at either, but I do know
mm,
how to sew. And then I took
right,
mechanical drafting as instead of like the other half, and that's what taught me how to draw. But I don't
mhm.
even know if they offer those anymore. But you're sewing, so do you have you? I imagine you rugs are thicker, so you have to use a very industrial sewing
I
machine.
do. Right. So
Oh,
I started off sewing my little Walmart, my little sewing machine for my willows. And then I bought an industrial sewing machine and I do all of the lugs here myself. If I have like a huge order, I have upholsters that help me.
yeah.
But mainly I take on all of that.
Wow,
Mhm,
that's a big responsibility. So
mhm.
I could give you some real life scenarios that
Yes.
I'm actually going to probably use you for. But like I said, I had this one client and I made the rug from broadloom. And
Uh,
my God, we have to know so much. We have to know so many things. We only know a little about so many things in this industry. And every time I go to order a custom rug, I always get confused with the serging versus binding and all that
right.
stuff. And then we have always recommended using a rug pad under every rug we use. So
Mhm.
do you, when with your rugs, do you still use rug pads if they're weighted? I get, well, the point of rug pads is to protect your wood floor allegedly. So my hot glue thing just flew out the window. But
Right. I was
now I'm
yeah.
going back to like training, and I remember rug pads are meant to protect your floor, and I think
Right.
rugs were originally supposed to protect your floor. Some rugs come with rug pads sewn in, most don't. Like, how
Right.
does that work? Do you do you sew rug pads into the rugs and then the weights?
I don't.
Or
So typically, like for interior rugs, a lot or exterior rugs, a lot of people are starting to use them interiors as well, just because
yep,
the
yep,
polypropylene, it's a high traffic area and it's perfect
good
for
for
like
kitchens.
Airbnbs. Yes, exactly. And so
Yeah.
I don't even put a rug pad underneath them. I just put a new runner in my entrance and it has the weighted system built onto it. It doesn't move. My kids run over it. Dogs can run over it. It's pretty heavy duty.
So I'm going to send you two rugs because I want to test this out,
Yeah.
and I love
Yeah.
trying out new things. But I don't know. You're probably going to laugh at me. Um, I've been against this company, and I'm hesitant to say their name, but at this point, it is
Sure.
what it is. But it's
Sure.
Ruggable. So
Uh-huh. Yes.
um, I I've only used runners from them. I've not used a big rug pad from them, but they are constantly moving and shifting, and I feel like I'm in an everyday fight with these
Mhm.
ruggable rugs that are
Mhm.
basically velcroed to a rug pad. Can somebody
Mhm.
send you, can a designer or a customer send you a rug that they like from,
Hmm.
say, Ruggable, and you stitch in the weights? Like, do you
Sure. I
offer
mean,
that yet?
that we can do that, absolutely. Everything's customizable. I actually that was the runner I just replaced. If I could walk over there, was my Ruggable, which I had it for a long time. But my husband finally said, "You need to get this out of here and put a wug down." But me, whenever I get wugs in, I'm like, I'm taking them to market and I sell them to customers, so I can't keep them in my own house
Yeah, I mean, that's a good
long
thing.
enough.
I mean,
Right.
I like the Ruggable collection that has artists. Like, I have a
Yes.
Basquiat behind me. I have
Yep.
one of my favorite graffiti artists. I can't think of his name that I'm looking at right now. But
Hmm.
it's always moving and it's driving me crazy. And that's when I
Hmm.
wanted to have you on, I'm like, or when I met you, my first thought was, oh my God, she'd be perfect for these Ruggable runners because they're always moving. I'm always straightening them. And
Exactly.
in
Exactly. And
Ohio, we're not outside a lot, and I know you guys have a pretty constant temperature to be outside. And I do have clients that have outdoor rugs, and they never lay flat because one company, this company, I won't mention their name, but you know them, starts with a U. Um, they
mhm.
during the pandemic decided to, because shipping went so high, they decided to ship us folded rugs. So it was kind of fun opening rugs between the years of 2020 and 2023 because the rugs were all folded, and I found surprise rugs within rugs. And
Me too, every day.
I was
Uh-huh.
like, wait a minute, there's the rug I've been looking for months. But they stopped rolling them. So I actually have a client that is in a colder climate, and we unfurled their or unfolded their outdoor rug from
Mhm.
said company, and it I can't get it to lay flat. So I'm thinking like, well, I have to wait till summer, get it wet, and then that'll make it lay down. But so kind of, do you offer a trade program for designers? Or like if I do a broadloom rug, can I ship that to you and then you ship it back? Like, how would that work?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we could,
I probably just
work
threw
out.
you into a whole different segment that you didn't know you
Yeah,
were going
no,
to get
that's
into.
totally fine. That's totally fine. So I have interior designers who's reached out to me and like, "Hey, look, I want to use this one, or do I have a similar pattern or a color scheme?" And then I could supply, that wug, or you send it to me. We call it wug it out.
Bug it
Um,
out.
and then we just send it right back to you.
I
But
love
I
that.
know exactly what you're meaning. I un wrap, I guess, unroll rugs
Yeah.
every
Well,
day and
they're nice when
unfold.
they're rolled. When they're folded, it's like,
They're
I'm like, how am I
exactly.
supposed to do this?
Yeah,
But
but our weighted system, so I deal with those type every single day. We put our weighted system in it and it completely lays flat. All
oh,
you
wow.
do is you just push that weighted system out and it keeps the rug fibers tight and stretched. So, yes, I
So
deal with that every day.
are the how is the weighted system work? Is it when you said you went to the steel mill, is it actual pieces of steel, or did you
Mhm.
progress into like some other kind of product, some other type of
No,
thing?
no, we use American made steel. Everything is
Okay.
rubber coated, so it won't rust. And I actually
Okay.
have one here, so I can kind of just show it to
Oh,
you.
nice. I was wondering. So, okay,
Yes.
so that's how
And
you're
they're
rolling.
heavy. And they're heavy. They're not when the wind picks, I mean, they're not gonna blow anywhere. They're not
No, so
moving.
you're just basically putting that piece of steel at each end.
In each end. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
And
So
then you
it
could
keeps.
ship it rolled back in a
Oh,
runner.
yeah.
Yeah,
I literally ship them just like this.
that's
Exactly how they
amazing.
would come from a distributor. I ship them the exact same way, and it actually helps in the shipping process. It helps them keep their shape because
Yes.
every time rug fibers, get wet, they shrink up, and whenever they dry out, they release. It's called shrinkage release in our world, right?
Yeah.
And so that weighted system keeps those rug fibers tight and stretched, and it keeps your rug flat, so it just extends the quality of life of your rug.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Um, so do you do round rugs as well?
Not yet, but those are in the works.
Okay.
Those are in the
I'm
works.
imagining you could do it pretty easily, even with the straight bar, if you just did it in the corners, because we've had some issues
Right.
with round rugs. And I'm like,
Mhm.
just spray it with water a little bit, run the vacuum cleaner, and it'll release over time. And I call it relaxing. It'll relax over time. But
Right.
we have we've seen so many different um like I said, during the pandemic, I'd never seen a rug shipped folded. Rug pads, yes. but rugs, and I'm just like, what
Yeah.
am I supposed to do? And it takes forever for them to just
Right.
relax.
I just got a
So
10 by 13 that was from our said company that was folded up. And we already have it wugged out and it's already laying flat. So, I mean, a big 10 by 13. You know how many creases were in that rug.
oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
one. I'm going to be sending you.
Yeah.
Should be ordering
Send
for
them
you.
to me. Send them
Do
to
you
me.
also, how much, like, what's your price point for, um, I'm trying to think of how to word this because I'm
Mhm.
imagining if you'll have different price points for different rug sizes. And then
Right.
if somebody's sending you a custom broadloom rug, that's going to be a thicker pile than the rugs that we're used to from that lovely company.
Exactly.
We know
Yeah.
ruggables, they're very, very, very thin.
Very
And
thin.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, literally, I cannot get these rugs to stay put, and they drive me batshit crazy every day,
Crazy. I
straightening them.
know.
But
I know.
what's your
Yeah.
like? What would be your starting out price point for, let's say, this podcast is geared toward consumers, so
Right.
we would talk retail, um, and people can order rugs directly from your website. Um,
Hmm.
you have wugs.com,
It's
WUGS.
it's wugsweightedrugs.com.
Grade what? I'm gonna put that. I'll put that in the notes. So
Awesome. Yeah.
consumers can order directly from you, and then designers, we can call you and ship to you, and you handle everything
Yeah.
directly.
Yeah, I handle everything directly. I mean, our price point. So, for an entry wug, like a 2 by 3, you're looking at about $90. I wanted my goal and what I envisioned is I wanted it affordable for everybody.
Yeah,
You have your high end, and I've shopped high end luxury rugs. I've installed those in clients' homes, but I wanted this. You could walk into your local retail store and see it, and it's affordable for everyone. So,
yeah.
$90. And some of your 10 by 13s could go up to $400, 450, depending
And that's
on
not.
how many colors.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
that's
very
not bad.
affordable.
That's not bad
No,
for an outdoor rug or outdoor.
right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Tell me more about, like, I'm trying to think. I don't know why you showed me this at market, I think, and I don't know why I
Uh-huh.
was thinking you had them filled with sand or beans or something, but I didn't realize they were steel until you just told me now. Um,
Uh-huh.
so did you put this through, like, you should be on Shark Tank for this, I think,
I've heard
because
that
this
like
is,
500 times.
yeah, I mean, this is a problem that people have, and I
Yeah.
didn't have a solution. I was like, industrial strength Velcro, hot glue, but this, like, you've actually created a solution for a problem that we do experience every day as designers. So what's next? Like, what do you have in the works?
So we just launched our interior collection. So I just posted on, our social media, our Instagram, our Facebook, our website, our
Mm,
interior collection. I like bold patterns. I like a neutral. I like a good neutral palette, but
yeah,
I do like bold too, especially for on the coast, the Gulf Coast. I know we a lot of greens, palm trees. But I don't know what's next. I'm going to these markets. I would love to work with a rug manufacturer, get them into stores. Shark Tank, that's a process in itself, right?
I
So
well,
I yeah, I would, and I've had friends who've actually been on Shark Tank and who have gotten deals. And so I have amazing mentors that I can kind of feed ideas off of. And I'm so grateful for that. But I'm not sure. I'm a hustler. I just
okay.
keep going.
Let me ask you this, and this is really important. And if you're a
Yeah.
designer watching this, pay very close attention to this question because this
Mhm.
could be with any product. Have you patented or trademarked the system yet or the wall?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
absolutely.
I was thinking
Yeah.
just now, I'm like, oh my
Wugs
God, I hope she's
Wugs
not
and
giving away.
Willows are trademarked. Wugs and Willows are trademarked, and I
Okay.
have a provisional utility patent on the Wugs and as well as the weighted system in the Willows.
Okay, good. Because I could see you selling this system to other rug manufacturers and them including it. I could also see them doing other things, but
Yeah.
let's hope for the best. But like, I'm
Yeah.
surprised nobody has come up with this sooner. I am very impressed with you for just coming
Thank
up with
you.
this.
You know what? Maybe don't edit that out. That was perfect.
No, he'll kill me. Don't come out of that
Okay.
bathroom until I'm done, which is going to be.
I'm like, can we see
Anyway,
through that door?
yeah. I mean, it's frosted, but oh my
Oh
God.
gosh.
Anyway,
Oh,
what were we just talking about?
about our patents and our
Okay,
trademarks.
patents. So intellectual property law and patent law is very time consuming and very intricate. So I'm sure you're working with somebody that's really good on that. Um,
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
trademarked DannyRusso.com, or no, I trademarked Danny Russo and I trademarked Daniel Russo Home. And
Uh-huh.
we're really, maybe I'll do a line of WUGS and you could license my name out.
There
But
we go. There we
yeah.
go.
So
Yeah.
are you, I'm sure you're in Corpus Christi, so I'm sure you're going to be at Dallas Market. And isn't that coming up? I'm going to release this tomorrow. So
Yeah.
Dallas Market's what, next week?
That's next week. Yes, I'll be
Oh,
there Thursday through Saturday. I'm super
where
excited.
where are you going to be?
I actually will be doing a lunch and learn with, I don't
Oh,
know if we want to say the said
okay.
company, but I
um,
will be there doing a lunch and learn.
okay.
So I'm
So if
excited
you're a
for that.
designer, if you're a designer and you can't get into Dallas Market Center if you're not a designer, you
Right.
can go right into the doors in the architectural and what's that built wing called? The designer wing.
Hmm.
If you walk
Hmm.
right into the doors straight ahead, Whitney will be on your left at a vendor that
Exactly.
starts with a U and is two
Exactly.
words.
And that is on Friday from I'll start at 12:30.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then are you going to be at High Point Market?
I am. I'm planning. I just booked yesterday to go to Vegas Market and go out there, check out, the manufacturers, talk to vendors, and then I'm going to be at High Point again this year.
I think I went to Dallas or Vegas last year. I'm not going this year. I had a crazy travel schedule this whole past year. So my next trip is Cabus in Vegas, which is at the end of March, end of February, and then I'll be
Mm.
at High Point. But I'm excited. Where are you going to be at High Point? Are you going? Are you going to have a booth in the temp section?
Now,
Like,
I don't have a booth. I just go meet with, my manufacturers and distributors who I source from.
yeah,
And I'm just trying to stay in front of everybody. I'm excited to spread the WUGS name.
yeah,
I think every time I meet somebody, I mean, even on a weekend when we do a market show, I tell our WUGS story about 400 times, and I it never gets old. I love it. And I'm very passionate about this product. I know it works
good.
and I believe in it. So
Yeah, I am
yeah,
too. I'm passionate you are about this project, and I love how passionate you are about the product.
thank
And
you.
I can't wait to see what is next for you. But
I,
if you're at High Point Market, make sure you call me and we'll meet
yeah,
up.
for
But
sure.
I'm gonna post your link um, in the bio here. If you guys are watching this video, you'll see it in the comments. And if you're listening to the podcast, the Design Exchange available on Spotify and wherever fine podcasts are procured. I don't even know how to
Perfect.
find my own podcast sometimes, but I know it's out there under the Design Exchange. But your website, Whitney, is WUGS, WUGS, weighted
Weighted.
rugs. And be
Yeah.
careful with that because the end of the weighted and rugs, I was like, drugs? The D and the
I
thing
try
was
and
there. I
like
was like,
capitalize
wait.
that and lowercase it, but it doesn't work. It
No, I
doesn't
think
work.
it's good. Yeah, you couldn't. I don't know. I feel like nobody would have like just the WUGS name. Like, did you try to
You
get
know
that
what?
website?
I tried to get that domain and it was taken, believe it or not. So I
Really?
was like, okay, yes, but we've already checked all the conflicts with the trademarks and everything, and that's good to go. So
Yeah, that's always a huge process. I went through that
yes,
years ago, and that's
yes,
why
it is.
my website's Daniel Home, and I couldn't call the company just Daniel Home because there's another person with the name Daniel Home and a word in front of it.
Uh,
So we had to add my last
we got to
name, but
tweak it a little bit. That's
yeah,
right. That's
it's
what we
always
do, though, right? That's what we do.
yep, exactly. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming on. I'm definitely going to call you, and I'm going to ship you these ruggables, and I can't wait to try this product out and
Awesome.
report
Yeah.
back.
All
Well,
right. Well, thank you. Thank you for
yeah,
having me on. I appreciate
thanks
it
for
so much.
coming
I
on.
love talking to you.
Me too. We'll have you on again. You guys follow
Okay.
Whitney. She's on Instagram as Wugs, Weighted Rugs on
Mhm.
Instagram. Are you on Twitter or X?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as Wugs Weighted Rugs. And then our website's www.weightedrugs.com.
Nice. Perfect. All right, guys. Happy designing and happy Friday. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks,
Bye,
Whitney.
guys.